Ashendine's Heliostat mission has just gone live, so we can now get our hands on Wolfsbane, the first of its kind exotic heavy axe. Well, it's technically a sword, but it looks like an axe, which is cool. I'm going to go over exactly how the axe itself works first, and then show you how to get all 3 intrinsics plus the first catalyst, Attrition Orbs, at the end of the video. The other catalysts will presumably be attainable week by week like other exotic missions, and they all look pretty good, and I can see a use case for all of them. So this is definitely an exotic where you're going to want to get all 4 once they're attainable. Wolfsbane works with Quicksilver nanites, which build up from light attacks only, never from heavy attacks. When nanites spawn, they give you some healing and also progress towards the Nano Assault bar, taking 22 light attacks to completely fill. It's worth mentioning now that sword energy, which you need in order to do a heavy attack, passively charges very slowly, unlike traditional swords which fill up quite fast. However, dealing damage with light attacks charges it quicker, taking 4 light attacks to fill the energy completely, and the heavy attack is an overhead slam, leaving a solar wave in its wake, so is pretty good for ad clear. Once the Nano Assault bar is full, you special reload to activate a higher damage mode for 10 seconds, where light attacks deal increased damage and now fully charged sword energy in only 2 hits, and fully charged heavy attacks now leave a nanite cyclone on targets for much higher damage than a standard heavy attack. So when in Nano Assault mode, a 2 light 1 heavy combo is possible and deals a ton more damage. While charging the Nano Assault mode though, I'd recommend never using the heavy attack, because it doesn't spawn any nanites, slowing down progress to filling the bar, plus the animation is quite slow and it doesn't do that much more damage, even though it costs 3 ammo. In the shooting range against Carl, each light attack deals 417 base, and each heavy deals 417 plus 593. So just doing 3 light attacks would actually deal more damage for the same ammo cost, as well as progressing the bar. In my opinion, it's much better to just spam light attacks to fill the bar as fast as possible, activate Nano Assault, and then do 2 light 1 heavy combos when the increased ammo spend is going to be used more efficiently with higher damage output from the cyclones. One unique thing about Wolfsbane is it has 2 blade slots, and by default comes with both Honed and Jagged Edge, which both increase the damage of each hit. Unlocking the intrinsics allow you to change these for ones that trade damage for ammo, but I think you probably want to keep Honed and Jagged as they are. Maybe someone will figure out some tech where more ammo would be better in some case, but I don't know. Then you have the Handle slot, which in theory works kind of like Frenzy or Chaos Reshaped, proccing an effect after being in combat for a certain amount of time, but instead of increasing damage, they instead give you damage resistance. The 3 handles in order claim to greatly increase DR after an extended period, moderately increase DR after a moderate period, and give a small amount of DR after a short period. However, I spent a lot of time testing these in the shooting range, and I'm pretty sure they're all bugged and currently do not have any effect at all. There was never any visible buff on screen, and I tested at long and close range on all 3, being in combat for a very long time beforehand to make sure it would proc, and I took exactly the same amount of damage every time, including a control test without Wolfsbane equipped at all. So I'm assuming the lack of on-screen buff is just confirming that it's bugged and simply not proccing. And once Bungie fixes it, hopefully we'll be able to see when it's active so we can compare how long it takes to activate, what the DR levels are, and how quickly it falls off when out of combat. The 4 catalysts are Attrition Orbs, which is available this week, spawning orbs from sustained damage, which is great for upkeeping armor charge, healing, proccing fragment effects, or giving DR from the Smoke Jumper armor 2-piece set bonus. The other catalysts are Relentless Strikes for better ammo economy, Burning Ambition to scorch and ignite from sustained damage, and Recursion, which increases the health gain from nanites as well as generating extra nanites nearby when taking damage during the Nano Assault mode. And I'm really interested to see this one because of the word nearby used here. Potentially, if you were generating nanites near you, but not close enough to immediately pick up, when Nano Assault mode ends, you might be able to go and pick those nanites up, giving an immediate boost to the next meter and proccing Nano Assault again much faster. But we'll need to see how this works in reality when it's available in 3 weeks' time. So that's how the axe works mechanically. Now here's how to get the 3 intrinsics plus the Attrition Orbs catalyst. First, complete the normal version of Heliostat from the portal. I found it in the bottom right of the main portal screen as one of the quick launch options you can scroll through. This will reward Wolfsbane and add the activity to Pinnacle Ops. Then, while running the Pinnacle Ops version, you can activate the secret mechanics for the upgrades. Important note, you'll need to have Wolfsbane equipped for this, so do that before launching in if you're going to have locked loadouts on. For the catalyst, near the start of the mission when entering the building from outside for the first time, once you reach the room where you can refresh the Scion, go back to the door you just came through and a data pad to pick up is tucked behind a box here. Then interact with the console next to the new Scion, and once you complete the mission you will get the Attrition Orbs catalyst. I didn't see it pop up on my loot feed, but I still had access to it at the Enclave, so don't worry if you don't see it either. For the Intrinsics, there are 9 floating Vex shapes hidden throughout the mission in 3 sets of 3, which need to be destroyed with Wolfsbane. Breaking all 3 in a set will reward the next Intrinsic. You don't need to break the sets in any particular order, but you do need to break all 3 within a set to get an Intrinsic. The first set can be found after the first main combat room where you have to shoot the 4 security nodes. Drop down into the room with the water, and to the left of the activation panel there's a shape inside a hole in the wall. The next shape is in the first long thin room all the way at the far end on the left in another hole in the wall. And the final shape of this set is just before leaving these rooms and getting to the next room with the Scion. Drop down underneath the exit and the shape is once again in a hole in the wall. The second set of shapes are found up high on the platforms amongst the radiation pulses, which you have to jump across to activate the grav lift. With your back to the entrance to the area you first dropped down from, there's one on the right hand side up high against the ceiling, and this one can be easy to miss if you pass on the platforms below it, so get as high up as possible. And there are 2 on the left hand side, tucked on platforms behind radiation pillars. These ones are pretty hard to miss. And the third set of shapes are in the final boss room. One in the first Scion side room opposite the console you interact with, one in the other Scion side room on the left as soon as you enter, and the last one is in the corner of the main boss room. And that's it. Thanks for watching, feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.